Hi guys, Luke here and welcome to another FIFA 19 player review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 89 rated community team of the season, Tots Moutinho. His card looks very nicely well rounded, and he did cost me in the region of 130,000 coins in the 4 games that I played him if he didn't score me any goals or get me any assists. But he does have a 4-star weak foot as well as 3-star skills. Then moving along to his stats, his main standout stats are going to be his 88 vision, his 90 ball control, his 92 balance, and finally his 94 composure. And I did have the engine the engine chem start applied to this Tots Moutinho card. Had a great season with Wolves. Obviously, they're guaranteed to play in the Europa League next season, I think now. So a great first season for them back in the Premier League for the first time in a decade or something like that. And this has been a really good stand-up performer from them. Obviously, he came from Monaco, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was Monaco where he came from, and he's been a very good player this season. Hopefully tomorrow he will have a shit performance so Liverpool can win the Premier League, but we'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, when the community team season was announced, this was one of the cards that stood out to me. You know, I was really excited to use him, but in-game, he just didn't perform for me. You know, 4 games, 0 goals, 0 assists, and I wasn't even playing bad FIFA. I actually played really good FIFA. I was winning most of my matches in FUT Champs and stuff like that, but this guy just wasn't good enough, and it is going to be a negative review, guys, unfortunately, but at the same time, you know, I'm very honest with my player reviews. If I don't think a player's good enough, I tell it how it is. I'm not going to sit there and lie to people just to please them who maybe want to use this Tots Moutinho card. I'm very honest. If I don't think a player's good enough, I will tell people that this card is not good enough, and I don't think he is. He looks a fantastic box-to-box type of player on the face of it, but in-game, just didn't perform. He really, and I'm disappointed because I was really looking forward to using this card, but there is still one pro to him that I did enjoy, that being his passing. Now, he didn't really ever create many goal-scoring opportunities, but it was the way that he started off initial attacks through that fantastic long passing. His long passing does go up to 98 with the engine chem start, and I have to say, how he kind of played long balls to the wings and stuff like that was very good. He would occasionally as well play a good through ball towards maybe Crespo or Aguero, but for the most part, it wasn't. Well, for the most part, his passing was good, but he never really created like a goal-scoring opportunity. It was just those initial attacking passes that he would kind of start off with. That was very good, and I couldn't fault that about Moutinho whatsoever. However, after that, it's all downhill from there. The first con, and to be honest, I'm not going to lie, I feel like a bit of a dickhead right here because he's got a high attacking, medium defensive work rate, and I didn't have any instructions applied to it yet. I'm going to put his work rate down as a con, which makes absolutely no sense why I'm doing this, but he would, honestly, it says he's got a high attacking, medium defensive work rate. EA must have that completely wrong because in-game, he would never ever push up by himself. I would always have to manually push him up the field, and I've said this before, I never ever use instructions. It's very rare, and I know for a fact I didn't have any instructions applied to this Moutinho card, and the fact that he'd always just sit there, it felt like he had a high defensive work rate and a low attacking work rate. Honestly, guys, you're just going to have to believe me, he never ever pushed up, and if you ever see him high up the field, it's because I've had to manually push him up there myself, which is so frustrating, and just made it a real nuisance to be able to use him. Some people would say, well, that's kind of good, you know, that he's staying back on the defensive side, but his defending stats aren't out of this world, guys. You know, 77 marking, 77 slide tackle, and 82 stand tackle. That's very average for this stage of FIFA for defending stats. But yeah, work rate didn't like whatsoever. His strength as well I thought was poor. 70 strength, 82 aggression. He's just too small. What's his height? I think he's definitely under 6 foot. Yeah, he's 5'7". It's too small for a midfielder, guys. You know, I've been using the FUT birthday Van Dijk, and he is 10 times the midfielder that this Tots Moutinho card will ever be. Obviously, IRL Tots Moutinho is an insane midfielder, but because he's that small, he's one of those players that you just can't really. It's kind of like Iniesta, you know, from previous FIFAs, like his Team of the Year cards. Despite him being a fantastic player, IRL, you can't make them fantastic players in FIFA. And honestly, his strength-wise, he just get bullied off the ball so often because his strength stats aren't very good. His aggression isn't too bad, but the fact he's at 5'7", he's got no chance of being able to win aerial balls like Van Dijk was for me in the midfield. He can't do it. It really was disappointing. And also his pace as well, I didn't like. Is his pace the worst for a central midfielder? No, it isn't. But we think a team of the season, we think, you know, listen, so many of these cards are going to be getting upgraded even from the shit leagues to make them insane cards. This guy, despite him having a really good card, his pace for this stage of FIFA for a midfielder simply isn't good enough. We're going to see so many team of the season cards over the course of this team of the season that are going to be released. They're going to have 80 plus pace and not going to even cost, you know, that many more coins at this Tots Moutinho card. For me, he was just too slow for the position that he was playing him with, and overall just didn't really like him, guys. Would I recommend him for 130,000 coins? No, I can't recommend him. I think you'd be better off. You know what? You'd be better off buying FUT birthday Van Dijk or Team of the Season Sissoko or someone like that. As much as I wanted this guy to play well for me, he just simply didn't. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to only give him a 4 out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's going to finish up this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.